the more languages you know, the more opportunities you have. You can communicate, you can like really grow in your career with knowing that many languages, and yeah, you can become a good professional.
So let's start. This time, it's a little bit different. This time we're in English, obviously, as you can hear already. And this time I'm making a little introduction because I want to give everybody of you a little context, what is happening today. So the other day I was at one of my favorite bakeries, Josef Brot, and I was sitting there having my breakfast, as I do from time to time. And I saw this young girl working there and making an exceptional job. What do I mean by making an exceptional job? Where I'm a little bit frustrated sometimes when I go from a cafe to different bakeries and I see people working there totally unmotivated, not liking what they do, doing it for I don't know what reason they do it, but obviously their first thing is their own personality and their own frustration at work, not giving people the kind of customer service that I love and that I'm used to from Vienna, from my earlier days in Vienna, which changed dramatically the last, I would say, 10 years, 10, 15 years. And so I saw her talking to the customers, giving great experiences to people coming in. And it was so amazing that I directly asked if I can introduce myself. And I directly thought to myself, I need to invite her to the podcast and talk to her about, I don't know what about 100% yet, but we will find something to talk about. And now she's here sitting with me. And we found some things which are going to be very valuable for a lot of people. But first of all, Xeniya, please take a couple of seconds, minutes, as much as you feel comfortable with, and introduce yourself to the audience.
Yeah, so hey, my name is Xeniya. I'm from Moscow, from Russia. I'm 21, turning 22. And yeah, I live in Vienna, I live in Austria. I've been living here for 3 years already, and I started my journey when I was 18. I moved here right after I finished school, and I just wanted to start my new life here. I came here with my twin sister, and yeah, we kind of started our journey with having a lot of things coming, with a lot of new experiences, and yeah, I studied at the university, at the Haupt University. And yeah,
the main university,
the University of Vienna.
You have to explain such things to me because I've never been to university. I have no idea where they are, know what their names are, know what you're going to, what you can study
the main
there.
building of the main University of Vienna. I studied journalistics and communication science. Also has something to do with what we are doing today. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
Are we doing communication science?
Communication science, yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and
so why did you choose Vienna? I mean, obviously the world is very big,
yeah.
And you have a lot of great cities, and you seem like somebody who loves to travel a lot. So why did you choose Vienna?
I would say, before moving here, I've only been here once. That was 1.5 years before actually moving. That was before COVID started. And I don't know, in my middle school, high school, my family always wanted to show us, me and my sister, show the world, Europe particularly. And yeah, we've been traveling and we've been seeing some other cities and countries. And we kind of knew that we would love to integrate somewhere here in Europe to also, I don't know, our family wanted to give us the best opportunity for us to grow. And I think we all agreed on that will be better if we just move out of the country. Yeah, even though we're from a big city. Yeah.
That would be kind of my next question, but we will come back to Vienna later, but let's continue with it. So why move at all in the first place? So why leave Moscow at all?
difficult situation, I would say. For me growing up, I was also seeing some things happening, some things changing, not in the best way. And that's why that motivated me and my family to kind of think, or maybe like plan that already, to maybe leave the country, like in the first place, to leave the country, for the children to do that. Yeah, just for us to have a safe future, maybe. Yeah, for the safety, for more opportunities, and for like self-growth, I would say so.
Okay, please explain safety to me.
Safety. Yeah, you know what the situation, the current situation
let
is.
me just, I mean, I don't want to look like I have no idea about the world. I've been to Moscow a couple of times. It's a very beautiful city, and I felt safe there. I mean, what do you consider safety? And I don't think that you're going out on the street and then you have to be full of fear or something. That's not the kind of safety you're talking about. Or is it?
Not fully. I would say that that's more on the like political side and the things that like citizens particularly can face. And for me, for the person with a high empathy, and for me, for what I feel, what I see as fair and not fair, and yeah, that was the thing that I didn't feel in my country. That the government and a lot of other stuff, a lot of things that the government does, I knew that I would not agree with that if I stay there.
I see. If it's okay for you, I would not go too much into political questions. First of all, because I have no idea about them. Not as good as that I could talk about it. And also, I don't think that this is the kind of value that we can give to the people listening here. I'm sure that there are a lot of countries which are also European countries which share the same values as we do here in Austria, where also parents with their children plan to give their children an opportunity to go and study in another country or in another city. So maybe you can tell me about your family's view on that part of the reason why move at all. I mean, okay, even if you love Moscow and the politics and everything there, still the world is big, and you're a young person who wants to find out about the world. So maybe you can describe some of those dynamics in your family, not related to politics.
Of course, yeah.
Why you choose to study somewhere else in a different language and so on.
I think like the first thing is that it is something different, like to study in your country and to study, like, I mean, when you're a teenager, when you graduate school, it's a good experience. You can also you can always stay home and study in your country, but trying something new, learning more languages, and actually practicing them, because you've spent a lot of years learning the languages, trying to explore a lot of different places, and trying to live by your own somewhere else, trying something new and maybe like build your future there. That was one of the like main points for us.
And that's a very special kind of growth, you know.
Yeah,
all of those things
course.
that you said. I mean, for example, take me. I am consuming a lot of English content, but I do not have the practice today. Your English is beautiful, for example, and practicing something will. In German we say, or one guest of mine said, "Da reißt so den Schädel auf." That means as much as you're widening your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Of course, yeah.
And bravo for that. So your English is fantastic.
Thank you. And that's also like one of the reasons that why we chose Austria was that that we not only speak English here, we also speak German, which is like the main language here, and the universities are mostly in German. Mm-hmm. So that was also one more great opportunity for us to also start a new language, what we were both, me and my sister, craving. We also wanted to take something more. The more languages you know, the more opportunities you have. You can communicate. You can like really grow in your career with knowing that many languages, and you can become a.
It's not only the options, the increasing number of options that the world is giving you, the more opportunity you get from the world when you know more languages, is also more options you get from yourself, from your own personality, is giving you a broader view, so you have more options as a person. You know, you have a broader set of you see, this is why I struggle with English, because sometimes, you know, there is a word which I know and I don't remember, but your brain is giving you more solutions.
Of course, yeah, absolutely agree with that. Yeah.
Let's keep with that. I want to explain here why we're talking in English, because your German is also very beautiful, as your English is. But we chose to do it in English because maybe you want to say it.
Because, there is a big number of people who are also like in the same position as I am. There are a lot of foreigners here. There are a lot of international students here, also no German speakers. But I think it's a big topic for my generation and for my generation who are also foreigners here. For them, they would not understand it in German, of course. And it's also for more people. I think we can spread it for more people.
It made me think about having one new podcast format in English, you know. I'm still thinking. Still didn't decide. This is going to be one in English, of course, but I'm still thinking about it. The reason why I didn't decide yet for 100% sure is because I am still hoping for AI to make it possible without me switching language.
But would you not like it to be to have something in English and in German?
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. And there's also a third language which I would love to, which is Serbian, which I speak much better than I speak English. Yeah, but you know, it comes down to time. Like, how much time do you have to invest in such? I love to do this. This is a very great hobby of mine, and if I would have much more time to do it, probably I would do English and Serbian and German. Yeah. But you know,
let's have it as a first English episode. Yeah, we'll see where this goes.
I did some episodes in English. I think 2 or 1 at least in English. But those were one of the first, I had 0 listeners back then, and it was challenging for me. Not as challenging as this one, because back then the English speakers were also having my kind of English, not as yours. Let's come back to Vienna. So we heard why you left your city, why you came to Vienna. Also, I think you wanted to say, I don't remember if you said it, that from Vienna is, you can travel the whole Europe from Vienna. Absolutely, from a very central place. And I think every city here is a max of 2 hours by flight. And Vienna is very, very good positioned.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. I love the location. I love how, I wouldn't say it's like very far away. You can escape the country in 2 hours. You can be like in Germany. You can be, I don't know, like you can go to the south and you would be in Croatia. And there's a lot of things going on.
And also what I like about it is it's a metropolis, a big city, but it's not as big as, for example, Paris or London, where you have, I think, double as many citizens. It still has this, cozy, small atmosphere. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So tell me about some of the struggles, like when you decided to come to Vienna and you actually moved here. So what were the main struggles you encountered here?
The language. The language was the most. Was the hardest thing that everyone, I think, faces. Yeah, because when we moved. I would talk from my side. Like, I only had A2. That's like, hey, la la la. I could, I don't know, order something. I could, I don't know, maybe buy something in the shop, and that was it. I couldn't understand anything that almost nothing that the teachers were saying.
So that's 2 years ago, right?
That's 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Wow. So you spend a lot of time practicing and learning German, no?
Yeah, practicing and working. Yeah, work is the thing that really brought it up.
So this is how you helped yourself by having a job in the gastronomy, because it gives you like a lot of practice in the language.
Yeah, a lot. I would say that helped me the most, even more than like my German courses that I also attended for 1.5 years almost. Yeah, that was like more than a year, and my job helped me much more. Just speaking by working. Yeah.
Yeah, in theory, learning a language is very, very hard, I guess. Yeah. For me, it's very hard.
For me
I need
as well.
to practice. Yeah, so how did you get a job without knowing German?
That was a surprise for me. that was 4 months after I moved to 5 months after I moved to Austria. So I had kind of the same level as I had when I came here. I tried my best. I was also mixing the languages. I mixed that with English. And my first job here was also in the gastronomy. So, and my whole journey till today is still there. So it has a lot to do with communication, even though like back then I was lacking a lot of knowledge and a lot of vocabulary in German. Yeah, but I kind of got it, and that's how I grew.
So what other things weren't as you expected them? I mean, you expected, of course, that German is going to be a challenge, but what were some kind of challenges which you didn't expect, or which you haven't thought of?
I think this... The responsibility that you get like at the exact same moment as you move, a huge list of the things that you have to do to complete to like make yourself legal in the country, and a lot of things that you have to come through by yourself without even knowing anything about the country, about the country's like rules, and just being young and facing that all by yourself.
Oh, well, that's a very personal challenge. So that's not about Austria. That's about you not taking it serious what your plans are, right?
Maybe at some point, of course. But you cannot say that you're not like serious, or that you don't try enough, because you don't know what to do. You don't know what you have to do, because you've never done that, and you were 18 when you were doing that, and you just you were at home with your family, and now you're alone.
I remember myself with 18, so I had that part that for me that's not going to be, and I meant not serious enough in that view. So that I think of myself now, I don't have to prepare. Like it's gonna be easy for me, and when I get there, then I see, okay, it's not gonna be that easy.
It just doesn't go with the flow as it may have been in your head.
Yeah, preparation is 80% of everything.
Yeah,
I would say. So, other than that, did you find a lot of, let's say, people from home here?
Yeah. People from home, you mean from the country, or like?
Yeah, like a lot of Russian native speaking people.
There are a lot of Russian native speakers from post-Soviet countries. Yeah, from Kazakhstan, from Ukraine, from Belarus, and from Russia, of course. And a lot of people. And there's been...
Were you looking for them, or did you just encounter them by accident?
There were the German courses that we all attended, because we all have to pass that instead of the Austrian final exams. We have to complete some of the other exams, and also we have to test our German and make it also official, the official C1 level. We have to have that for the universities. And the first dorm that I was living in, there were a lot of Russian-speaking people. The first friends I made there, they were from Kazakhstan, from Ukraine, from Russia. We had a huge friend group there that was back in Graz. My first 2 years I spent there. And that was a cool experience, having some people from the countries you've never been to starting to be your friends. and you're all kind of the same age, and you're in the same position, and you face the same problems, the same struggles, and you all help each other like a small family of people that have nothing to do with you, like in a family related way.
So is all of that happening, like you said, in a family atmosphere, or are there like small organized groups which you can reach out to, which organize themselves especially for helping? No.
You don't expect them to help you. You just feel that these people, you just feel that like you're in the same boat with everyone, because you start to feel like these people are your family. That's how you make also best friends here, because you all see each other. You see each other's problems. You have empathy for them because you feel the same way. These people are the only ones that can understand you wholly, like the way no one else can understand. And that's why it's more of I would say the bonds that you make are more like family bonds. That's how I made my best friends here.
Yeah, because you go through struggle, and this is a bond, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I see. You know what I saw a lot of times that young people coming here, they want to study, they want to go to university, but then they have to finance themselves, so they're looking for a job, just like you did. And then they have to learn the language, so they go to courses or they use their job to learn the language. And then they feel they don't have time and skill to go to university at all. So what they do is they work and they learn the language, and they do not bother with university at all for the first, 1 year, 2 years. So did you see that a lot? Did that happen to you maybe?
Of course.
Or how do you manage the time so you have time for all three things?
It happens to a lot of us, especially for the ones who are integrated into working and trying to prioritize that, because you have to survive somehow. You have to work, and unfortunately work is the thing that you see the results more. Like that's you see you
get immediate results.
Yeah, of course, like money.
Especially in gastronomy, where you get everyday tips and stuff.
Yes, of course, and that's what motivates you much more than just studying, because studying is something that you get, you get the results
years in the future.
Yeah. You don't get them now. And the only thing you get from studying is just constant, essays and a lot of stuff that you have to complete and manage yourself.
But that sounds to me like a trap a little bit, because I don't agree with that, what you say. The results, the measurable results, you study, that's a kind of workout, you train, and you have the results immediately because you spend the time learning, you spend the time struggling, so this is forming you, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's very hard in your age to see that as a result.
Of course, because you don't see that in your nearest future. You see that in years. That's where the job that you have is something that you feel related to the most, and that's why that's a very tricky thing, because you can really just dive in working and forget about your studies, and that's one of the biggest problems that a lot of people face, especially foreigners who don't know what they're actually doing sometimes.
But then there is I know that there is a kind of visa which is related to your results in your studies, right?
Yeah, of course.
So that's a help.
Yeah, that's a motivation, I would say. That's more.
Otherwise, you lose your visa, right?
Otherwise, you go home.
You go home. Yeah. But that's not true for people coming from other European countries.
Exactly. Because we as non-Europeans, we have to complete 2 times more. We have to get 2 times more credits. And we have a minimum, so our hours are reduced also. We're not allowed to work more than 20, so more than half time. Yeah, and that's why you have to also kind of manage to do both. Yeah.
So how can you escape the trap for not falling into, especially in gastronomy, for not letting go of your studies?
Routine, and always having in mind that almost all of your days should be planned. Should be like you have to have a lot of things written down. Otherwise, you will just lose a lot of stuff. You will either lose your energy, your physical and your emotional, your mental energy, because you would not have that to work, and you would not have enough motivation and energy to study. So you should know where you rest, when you rest, and what you do while you're resting, and also having your deadlines and other things written down for yourself, just to be really included and focused on something that you are not only not afraid to lose, but is the most important thing why you're here. It's like the university, obviously.
Yeah. So how do you mentioned the dorm room? So as much as I understand that you start living with people that you don't know in one flat, right?
No,
so,
it was like a dorm. It's a big building.
Okay, but you have a lot of young people doing the same thing as you, so living in the same building.
Yeah.
So probably you're making friends there, and so how much do they impact your routine and organization?
Back then, like I'm talking about the first times, the first not years, but like the first year, I would say there was a lot of friends and not a lot of studying, because you meet new friends in a new country and you hang out with them.
So that's part of the trap. This is why I went there.
Yeah. But I think everyone faces that. Everyone, especially the ones who after moving from the home country, they get to the student doors or stuff. Like that's kind of the place where a lot of people start from. And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy as well, but it shapes you as a person as well, because these are also the people who you bond yourself with and who you then kind of go the same way. You start studying and you all, turn on your head and you focus on the important things together as well.
I just had some thoughts while you were talking, and you said that a few minutes back, you said that you as a non-European are limited to 20 hours of work here. Mm-hmm. So is it possible to finance yourself with 20 hours of work?
It's hard. It is hard, yeah. It is hard if you are doing... Then maybe one of the reasons why I chose to do a job as a waitress, because...
It's higher money than the other jobs.
It's more money. It's more money, because it's limited. The hours are limited, and you have to earn more working the same amount of hours. And it's hard for the ones who are not doing the same job as I do, because the restrictions are hitting you. You know how they hit you.
But there is no limit in how much to earn. There's only a limit in how many hours to work, right? How many hours,
of course, but without your education, because normally when we move here, the only jobs that we can perform are the ones that have the minimum salary. Yeah, the ones that don't require your bachelor's or whatever kind of experience. And that's why you have limited options and limited hours. Mm. Yeah, you don't have that much to choose from. Yeah.
So in the introduction, I said the reason why I invited you to the podcast is because of the exceptional way you were working. You were working when I saw you. And would you say those things are connected? Are you motivated by being limited, so that you're doing a great job for getting better tips? Or would you say your kind of working is just your way of being, is part of your personality, maybe your mentality?
I would say this definitely the second thing.
Okay.
I'm never stressed. Now I'm not stressed about having something limited, because I know that I'm doing my best, and I love what I'm doing actually. And the thing that I love is the communication. Is that
do you love it more than studying?
Sometimes I feel so. Yeah, because I get a lot of energy, and I get a lot of great emotions from just talking to people. And I just love it. I love that my work has a lot to do with talking, with communication, what I also study, and that I just like when I show up to work and when I go home, even though you like feel drained or maybe just tired physically, I feel hyped. I feel good because I know that I gave great emotions to people and I got them as well.
Do you at all see what I explained, that I don't see that kind of engagement in gastronomy from waiters, waitresses that much? Do you see that, or was it a total surprise for you, me telling you that?
It wasn't a surprise because I know a lot of people experience that. Unfortunately, that may be a common thing in a big city for some people to be dissatisfied with the service that they get. And unfortunately, it may be also a problem in the gastronomy in Vienna. Yeah, I would say I don't feel that much because I'm also like, I see that from both sides, as a like person coming as a customer and also as a person working in service. So I see both sides, and sometimes I'm just like, I wouldn't say not that attentive. I am attentive. I see some things that I perform or that what they perform badly or maybe better than I do. And you just understand people more if you know why they are doing such stuff, and yeah, what can be like the thing behind that all. But yeah, sometimes like in Vienna you experience bad service, especially in the center.
Is there, now I have to ask you a question related to the place where you're working. So is there any kind of training you get at Josef Brod for doing customer service, or are they checking you in some kind of way when you apply, or how does it happen that, especially in Josef Brod, I have to say, and they are not paying me to say that, so this is just my opinion, you and your colleagues are doing a great job, and you're very, very polite and giving good service. So how does it happen at Josef Brod?
Firstly, thank you for that from my side, from my colleagues. I think so. I would, the first question that you asked, no, there wasn't any training in like communicational training. I think they just, when they take people, they just like, maybe they just see that. I love our managers. I love their way of hiring people and their way of communicating with all of us. And I feel satisfied with that because they're doing a great and a big job. And I just like, I love my colleagues. I love people from different spots because we have a lot as well. And I think that just having a lot of people from a lot of countries, because also not everyone from Josef Brod are Austrians. And like in service, we have a lot of people who are foreigners from Hungary, from like Bulgaria, from Russia, from like many more countries. And I think we all like having our own mentalities and something cultural. We all can share that, and we all can kind of integrate that into our work and into talking to people as well.
But being a team of so many foreigners, do you still have the opportunity there to learn something from the typical Viennese or Austrian gastronomy? Is there anything that you learned here in gastronomy, be it as a guest or as a waitress, that is not practiced that way in Russia, for example?
Yeah, I would say definitely. Just the way people talk to people they don't know, it's different. It's different how you viewed, and it's different in just the way of you behaving when you're showing up to a restaurant or somewhere. You just behave differently.
Are you talking as a guest or as a waitress?
I took both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Explain that to me. I'm very interested in that one.
I would say...
what do you mean by the way that you look at people? What do you mean by that?
Austrians, and for me, like when I work with Austrians, I think we both, like that's coming from both sides, we both expect each other to have a smile on the face, to be more polite and to be more extrovert to each other, because like people, I see that people just love talking to you more and asking you some personal questions, just talking about your life, talking about their life, sharing their experiences, their, I don't know, emotions, or maybe just telling you their feedback directly while eating or just while, I don't know. Like also that was the way we met.
Well, what you just said, the last, I don't know, 30, 60 seconds is I don't experience that.
You don't relate with that?
No, I think that has a lot to do with that you're a young and sympathetic looking girl, and that I am the, big old Turkish looking guy. And I think that has a lot to do with that. I think there are a lot of, you say vorurteile, I don't know the word in English.
Like, how do you say that? How do you say that? How do we explain that?
Ryan, vorurteile? In English?
Prejudice. Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. I think that this is a lot more here real than it is somewhere else. What would you say?
Maybe I'm talking about the generation that I experience, like that I talk to the most, the older generation of like Austrians, of like Viennese Austrians. I think they're really talkative, don't you think? Like just starting a small talk with you, just starting just randomly approaching you, no? You don't think so?
Not at all.
Because
not
every time I'm somewhere like on a like
I give you a different example. Okay, totally different example. Me looking like I'm looking, and like walking with a friend of mine, looking very similar to me, being my age, being my size and everything. When we walk in the dark, in the evening here in the street, and we see local old people, let's say two old grannies crossing us the street, you see that they have some kind of fear. Maybe it's just distance. So they do not feel comfortable with us passing by there on the street. So I feel that a lot. I mean, maybe it's up to me, but I feel it. And when I'm, for example, I'm spending a lot of time in Serbia. When I'm in places like Serbia or Moscow, I've been to Moscow many times, then the same situation happening is just, for them, this is just, they don't even recognize you. And
really? That's interesting.
That's interesting. And I think this is something remarkable. And I don't want to say why this is that way, but I feel that.
But we're both talking from the, like, you're describing yourself here in Austria, and you're describing yourself in Serbia or in Russia. And in Serbia and in Russia, you're like kind of a foreigner to them. And I am... Okay.
No, maybe that, but finish your sentence and I will say mine.
Yeah, and like I am maybe because, I'm a foreigner here, maybe they kind of act nicely to me.
Yeah, I feel way more seen as a foreigner here in my home, where I'm born and grown up, and I'm native Vienna. When somebody asks me where you're from, I'm from Vienna. Yeah, this is who I am. But I feel more a foreigner here than I do in Serbia.
That's interesting.
Not because of my own personal feeling, also because of that, but because of the way people looking at me.
How do you look at them? Do you look the same way? Maybe you took to Austrians
That's a very hard
differently.
question for me to answer, because if there is this feeling of home that people are talking about and describing a lot of times. I don't know if I really have that, because here Austrian people, like really Austrian people for generations here, they don't see me as an Austrian because my parents are not Austrian. I don't look Austrian. I don't have an Austrian name, so I don't feel recognized as an Austrian here. Of course, officially, I am Austrian citizen, but the society doesn't see you like that. So, and when I'm in Serbia, for example, nobody would even think about me not being Serbian, me not being that. I don't experience that. Sometimes people I meet like the 5th time or the 10th time, and then they say, wait, you're not Serbian? Like they're totally surprised, So how do you mean you're not Serbian? Of course you're Serbian. You speak Serbian. You're here. You're big. You're tall. You're Serbian, So that's the difference in experiences for me.
Maybe you just have more of a like Eastern European mentality in yourself. Maybe like somewhere deeply in yourself that you're more comfortable with having and representing to people than being a like Austrian.
Yeah, but even when people understand that I'm not Serbian, they're not giving me that kind of feeling like you don't belong here. Like, okay, you're here. like we accept that you're here, but we are we, and you don't. I don't get that feeling somewhere
But
else.
Austrians do that as well, you say, right? Or
I got that feeling sometimes here. I had that.
So they point at your like ethnicity or something, or that's the way they want to.
No, they're not even there. Even if they are totally like, you have those people in every generation which are very welcoming foreigners. But even in welcoming foreigners, they already declare you as a foreigner.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't say that Austrians, they're very good people here. I love Austria and Vienna. And I don't say they're bad, but they're Austrians and you're obviously not Austrian. So this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we should post this. I'm talking so much
that was
about
controversial.
No, we will post it 100%. Okay, but we are not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. So I have here a very simple question which I wrote down myself, which ChatGPT didn't give me. And this is, how are studies going? How are you proceeding with studies?
I would say I would expect more from myself at this time. Yeah, because the things that I mentioned before that, like a couple of minutes ago, I would also recommend this to myself personally more than anyone else.
So this is something that you talk about, but you do not practice yourself?
Maybe a bit. Yeah, maybe a bit, but I'm trying my best. And I'm also having my ADHD medication that what I'm prescribed here. And it also makes...
What is that? An
ADHD.
ADHD education.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's medication. Medication. Yeah.
Okay. Should I ask you about that?
You can, yeah. That's not something personal.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
What kind of medication do you get?
For ADHD, so for
there are
the ones,
special. Tell me about it.
These are like the stimulants for to make you feel more concentrated.
Okay.
To help with your anxiety, and for you just like to manage some things that.
Are they helping you?
Yeah, they are. I'm glad because in Russia we don't have this diagnosis, and it's really hard to get diagnosed if you're an adult. If you're over 18 years old, and that was the reason I was like struggling the first time here with studies when I moved here, because I didn't get my diagnosis. And now when everything is already set, I feel much better, and I love that Austria really helped me with my insurance and with
Okay. It's totally new to me that there is something like an ADHD medication. I know that there is this phenomena of ADHD, and I guess that it has always been there, but now they have new classification and a new name for it. And I did not know that there are pills that you can. Are those pills?
Of course, except for the therapy that you also like. You can have your like psychologist or other specialists. And
how do you measure that they help you? I mean, personally interested in that. How do you measure the effect
the meds
of the
are
pills?
working?
Yeah.
You see yourself concentrated because like if you have ADHD, if it's diagnosed, if you like 100% have that diagnosis, you just know where like how your brain works. You just know where you like kind of shut down if you have like some kind of different thoughts in your head at the same time. So if you cannot concentrate, especially at work, you see that at work when you just forget everything. You just like you feel frustrated and you don't see yourself in like one particular place. You just have everything in your mind. Everything is just like so mixed. Yeah, and also with
someone would call that creativity.
But not when you lose and forget a lot of stuff by just walking. Yeah, and that happens to your concentration as well. Yeah, that's the thing that you lack.
So what are some things that you will tell yourself now in front of the camera, so you can watch it every day if you want, that you will change, because you said that you have also to apply some of those tips that you gave the other people.
Well, what I changed in my
what do you
behavior?
have to change in order to
planning? Yeah, I hate planning myself. Yeah, and that's the thing that I have to have, and I have to write some things down, because I have to. I love being spontaneous, and I love living in Vienna. Not only like working and studying. I love living here. I love visiting different places. I love going to like also cafes, restaurants, just like enjoying my time with my friends. And sometimes these are the things that come spontaneously in my life, and I can resist, and I just like prefer that rather than doing something important.
Okay, not being the interviewer now, but just being somebody who is 20 plus years older than you, I want to tell you that you absolutely should do that, and you absolutely have to do that. And for the next at least 5 or 10 years, this is the kind of life that you are living and that you're free to live. And please do not plan yourself as much that you lose that kind of spontaneous way, at least in a part of your life, at least a part of your time should be that way.
Yeah, I love doing that, and I love that I get a lot of cool emotions from just living here, because that's the way. Now it's why I feel like Vienna is my home already, even though I've been living here only for 1 year. That's my 2nd year now. And yeah, now I feel like it's my home more than my home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But altogether 3 years in Austria, right?
Yeah.
So speaking about that, do you see yourself going home?
No.
Actually?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
So you're gonna stay here for the rest of your life?
I think I'm definitely finishing university. I'm definitely maybe starting masters here. I will think on that, because there are a lot of opportunities as well. We'll see where I'm at, what place I'm at when I'm finishing with my bachelor's. But
so it's more like you don't. It's more you don't see yourself going home more than you see yourself in Austria. So it's more you don't see yourself at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you still want to encounter the world.
Of course.
Not limiting yourself only to Austria.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I would love to try some new options, not only for like studying, but also just try to live somewhere. I would locate myself in Europe mostly, because I love Europe, and yeah, maybe, but I love Austria as well. I love Vienna, and I think I am also already used to living here. Let's do some rules to just to a lot of things that you face daily while living here.
So being someone who moved from Russia first to Graz and then from Graz to Vienna, and maybe planning after the bachelor to move somewhere else, what is it that you will prepare better before you move to your next city, which also can be at the same time some recommendations for somebody who is making their first move, maybe be it to Vienna, be it somewhere else? What are those 2-3 things of preparation that somebody should do?
The first thing is, of course, you have to have some money on you. You have to know that you're the only person carrying yourself in that direction. And you have to know that some things may turn out not the way you expect them to be. And also, I would already, while not being there, I would start on searching for the particular needs that I have, with some things that I would know that I would need. And yeah, of course, we're not talking about planning on the actual apartment and everything else, but yeah, money and the things that would not make you feel lost when you have already moved there.
So is it, for example, first move and then find a job, or first fix a job and then
fix
move
a job? Of course, fix a job. Yeah, and then here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to have such an opportunity, or maybe a job offer that would ask me or give me an opportunity to move right away.
So Xeniya, great. I think there was a lot of value in this talk for people who are listening to this, who also want to go and study somewhere in Europe. Is there anything last you want to leave here before I have one last thing that I want to ask you that you want to give people as a guidance? As a guidance,
I would say you should always try, and you should not be scared of the things coming to your life. You should always, you will never be prepared, especially when you're here alone or something, when there are a lot of things happening spontaneously, a lot of global problems happening. You should always keep that part of yourself that has some hope and you should always have strength and people around you. People are very important. People are the ones who are your friends, maybe. Like here may only talk about friends or maybe partners. These are the people who would be by your side, who would really help you when you are struggling with sometimes. Yeah.
You know, you should start your own podcast.
I'm studying for that.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that was the last thing I was talking about.
Really?
Because you have something. Not only the languages, it's also that you like to talk. You don't have a problem talking.
I'm glad that I have you as a person I can talk to today, because I love the communication that we had today. And yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Honestly, to me, just I don't know if we will leave this part in the episode, but to me, this one was I don't know, a 2 out of 10 from my side, not from your side, of course. From your side, it was an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. But I didn't prepare at all for the English language, and I hope that the people who are listening are still listening and didn't turn off because of the awful English.
No, it was good. It was good. Yeah, you got it more fluently more than I did.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not like joking. The way I cannot like build those kind of sentences.
Definitely,
as you
I will
do.
listen to it, and definitely listening to myself will help me learn doing it better. And I decided, while we were talking, I decided that I want to do more English content. And this is, it was the whole talk and this whole experience with you was for me also like a little bit growing and understanding that by doing this, it's going to help me grow because it's a challenge.
Of course, we're both, I think you see me also coming out of my comfort zone, because that's me doing that for the first time. And yeah, I was nervous and I'm still nervous kind of because there are cameras and
lights and people and stuff,
people around.
But what I meant when I say it's a 2 out of 10, so there is a lot of potential for uncomfortable situations and for growing. So that's the positive thing that I can pull out of it. Yeah. Xeniya, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.